Hey guys, Halina here, and today I'm going to be ranking Moon Knight episodes from my least favorite to my favorite, so stay tuned. Alright, so before I dive into the ranking, I need to say that there will be spoilers for Moon Knight episodes, so if you haven't seen Moon Knight yet, go watch it, come back here, and hear what my ranking is. Alright, let's get to the ranking. In sixth place, I have episode 3, The Friendly Type. Honestly, I don't remember much of what happened in this episode. I know that we got to meet the other gods, so I guess that was cool. But overall, I don't remember much of what happened in this episode, and I remember that I found myself tuning out a lot. Yeah, so episode 3 is in sixth place. In fifth place, I have episode 1, The Goldfish Problem. Now, overall, this was a good first episode. Like, it introduced us to Steven. It had a good amount of creepy and funny and suspense. And, it did what a premiere was supposed to do. Set you up for what the show is going to be like. And it did that pretty solidly. But overall, there wasn't much to it. So, yeah, episode 1 is in fifth place. In fourth place, I have episode 6, Gods and Monsters. Now, to be honest, if it wasn't for, the ending and the post-credit scene that we got, I was 100% prepared to make this episode either number 1 or number 2. Like, it was a really, really good episode. A solid finale. The final battle, it felt earned because they were building it up from, the very first episode. I loved, that the gods and their avatars were battling it out and everything like that. It looked really, really cool. I also loved Layla being able to suit up, But it was the ending and the post-credit scene that really kind of soured this episode for me and dropped it down quite a few places because it didn't clear anything up. Like, it didn't clear up what was real and what wasn't, and what was really happening at the psychiatric hospital and why Harrow's feet were bleeding and all of that stuff. Like, it didn't clear any of that up, but, it was really the post-credit scene that really shoved it down to fourth. Because we introduced Jake Lockley, and, I watched other people reviewing the episodes, and, they're more familiar with the Moon Knight comics, and they were like, oh, well, Jake Lockley's going to show up and everything like that. So I knew who Jake Lockley was because of, those videos. But I don't know who Jake Lockley is, and, it seems like he's the version of Mark and Steven that, is even worse than they are. But either way, Harrow is in a psychiatric hospital and he's a patient, and then he gets shot by Jake Lockley, who's just, chilling with Khonshu, and it's like, what even is this show anymore? Like, just the whole ending making the show even more confusing than it already was. Dropped this episode down quite a bit. And I'm kind of sad about it because the whole rest of the episode was pretty good. And then the ending happened. And then the post-credit scene happened. And then I was like, I hate the show. So, yeah, episode 6 is in fourth place. In third place, I have episode 2, Summon the Suit. Now, the premiere was slowly laying the groundwork. And episode 2 is just like, now we're going in. So, Steven talks to Mark. Mark explains that they're Khonshu's avatar. Yay! Fun stuff. Then he's thrown into the battle of the gods without really knowing what is happening. Like, he's trying to process everything, but he's, like, also, in this big giant battle. But I mean, it was the moment when Steven summoned the suit. And it's a business style suit. That was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, episode 2 was slowly giving us answers to questions that, we had, but then they were presenting us with more questions, and I enjoyed that. I just really wish that they had stuck the landing. But nonetheless, episode 2 was a pretty good episode, and that's why it's in third place. In second place, I have episode 4, The Tomb. Now, I'm going to be real. It's the end scenes with Mark and Steven in the psychiatric hospital and Harrow's the shrink that really, really sold this episode for me. I enjoyed the tension throughout the episode, especially when Layla and Steven / Mark, were trapped in the, I guess it would be the tomb with, I think it was supposed to be a Heka priest, basically destroying a body. And then they were getting chased by it. I loved all that tension. I was super shocked when Steven and Mark got shot. Yeah, overall, this was a pretty good episode that became great with the ending. So, that's why episode 4 is in second place. And finally, in first place, I have episode 5, Asylum. Now, what I loved about this episode really was the fact that we got to dive into Mark and learn that, Mark is the actual person and Steven's the alter, because this whole time we'd been, dealing with Steven and Mark was sort of, the reflection and all that. And it's okay, so Steven's the actual person and Mark's the alter? No, Mark is the actual person. Steven's the alter. We get to dive into Mark's traumatic past and, essentially why Steven and eventually Jake Lockley came to be in the first place. So I really loved that. I love that, both Steven and Mark are just sort of separate people. You have Oscar Isaac playing Steven and you have Oscar Isaac playing Mark, and they're side by side with each other rather than, one of them being a reflection or just a voice. Yeah, it really helped, with those bonding moments that we had with them as they went through the past. Towerette, I'm probably saying that wrong. Either way, she's amazing. Love her. Yeah, the ending of episode 4 was when I really got hooked into the show, but episode 5 as a whole episode was just amazing from beginning to end, and that is why episode 5 is in first place. Okay, so that is my ranking of Moon Knight episodes, but let me know what your ranking is. And if you don't want to go through all 6, just let me know what your favorite and your least favorite episodes are. I am really curious to hear what everyone's thoughts are. And if you like this video, leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you can be notified when I upload my latest videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye, guys!